budget forced businesses to compromise on growth. That is the words of the CEO of the CBI. The OBR has said that the jobs tax will reduce wages by £7.5 billion and increase inflation. Both the OBR and the CBI say it will result in higher prices. So it's no surprise over the last few weeks, my inbox has been full of local organisations gravely concerned about this jobs tax, the £25 billion stealth tax. We are shocked and they are heartbroken because Labour promised not to raise national insurance. Indeed, the then Shadow Chancellor called it a jobs tax and said they would never pursue such a thing. So who are the organisations most worried and writing to me? St Barnabas, Lincolnshire. Lincolnshire and Nottinghamshire Air Ambulance. Uppingham GP Practice. Stamford GP Practice. And I would point out the Royal College of GPs have said it will cost £2.2 million appointments to service these increases. The Vista Royal Leicestershire Rutland Whitecliffe Society for the Blind. Local nurseries. My local Citizens Advice. My care agencies and hospitality businesses. These are the people who are writing to me. And as we approach Small Business Saturday, while I have my independent shop campaign, where on average around 100,000 votes are cast, people voting for their local favourite independent businesses, those businesses are now writing to me saying how worried they are. Family businesses are particularly worried, and it will affect rural communities most of all, this tax, because they have smaller margins. They're already worried about farmers going out of business on whom they're reliant, and we have small symbiotic communities who support one another. I will happily give way.
I thank the Honourable Lady for giving way. She's making a very important point about the impact that this will have on small businesses. Now, in 2021, she voted for the Health and Social Care Levy bill. I've checked her Hansard. She mentioned none of these concerns in 2021. That was an increase of 1.25 points on national insurance, employed to employers and employees. This is a smaller rise, protecting employees. Can she say why all of a sudden she's now concerned, whereas 3 years ago she wasn't?
Give way. The gentleman may not recognise at that point we're just coming out of something called the pandemic, and it was the health and social care vote. So yes, I absolutely voted to do what we need to do at that point in time. It was a specific levy to raise specific funds for our health and social care. So I will happily stand behind that vote, Madam Deputy Speaker. Now, it's interesting because this tax will make it harder for businesses to recruit. Indeed, it's going to put up 3 times the price, and it will cost about £800 per employee. This is not how you get growth. It is how you lose staff as employers let people go. It is how you see increased demands on our welfare budgets. It is how you kill off your town centres. It is how you see hospices close. And it is how you see local authorities ending up reducing services. And it is how you see charities, no, I will not give way, and it is how charities end up, it will be how charities end up redirecting their Christmas appeals where people give the pennies they have spare to instead paying the exchequer rather than supporting those who are most desperate that charities should be spending their money on. This was the largest tax grab, Madam Deputy Speaker, of Labour's budget, and it will impact women and young people most of all. And yet there is an absence from that side at all about the impact on those who will be most affected. Employers are the growth makers, and they are begging Labour to reverse this tax. But working people will be those who will be worst affected. There is still time, Madam Deputy Speaker, for Labour to reverse course, to listen and recognise that the ideology they are pursuing is going to harm our communities. It is time for them to think about the impact, reconsider what they are doing, particularly to our GP directors and others. I look forward to hearing from the Minister when I share with him those letters and seeing what he says to them in return. Reverse course, it's not too late, and fundamentally change your ways.